Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So Bitcoin finally crossed 90,000. We're about to hit 95, maybe even hit even higher. And this is an exciting time, right? We're recovering. The last couple of months have been real bad, right? A lot of people probably sold out. And I've been preaching, stay focused, DCA into your favorite projects. And look, we are recovering. Are we going to be in full bull phase? I don't know, because we have macro backdrops, with these tariffs and everything like that, that may slow things down or may cause us to chop sideways. But things are looking promising, and I'm very excited to make this video today. So I'm going to talk about some of the good news we had this past week and two altcoins specifically that I'm focused on. So if you like the video, please hit that like button. If you want to subscribe to my channel to see more content as we ride this wave all the way up to the top, please give me a follow. So let's take a look right now. Exciting time, guys. Very exciting time. Just to see where we're at and what the future holds. So fear and greed. Currently, we are in greed, right? Everyone's feeling pretty good. Numbers are going up. A lot of people buying, FOMOing in, right? They don't want to FOMO in when it's low prices, when I say the DCA or when I recommend the DCA, but they want to do it now when the prices are starting to go up. Either way, we are here for it, right? Looking at CoinMarketCap, we see that the trending coins and top gainers, which is going to be one of the coins that I've been accumulating and talking about, is SUI. SUI is up 25%, y'all. $3.76. Not too long ago, SUI was under $2. That is one of the top trending coins. And also Penju, which is a meme coin that I have my eye on, is one that is doing very well as well. So these type of coins right here, especially this meme, if we should get a drop again because of macro news, this is the one that you probably want to accumulate. Has a big community, very popular meme right now. And I think at peak bull, this one could do very well. But I digress. SUI is one of my favorite alts currently, and we'll get into SUI a little later. But let's look at the global crypto market caps at 2.95 trillion. And Bitcoin dominance is at 63. Bitcoin dominance was ticking up to like 66, 67. Interesting to see it go down to 63. And that's because of the strength of some of these altcoins. So that is interesting. But price of Bitcoin at the time of this video is 94,500. So that's for the week, it's up 11.6%. And for my ETH heads out there, 1785, up 12% for the week. XRP, $2.20, up 5.8%. Solana, which is my altcoin number 2, is 154 bucks, up 14.9% for the week. 14.9% for the week. I want to repeat that. Look at ADA. ADA, 72 cents, up 17%, y'all. 17%. SUI, $3.76. We covered already, but look at that. Up 76.9%. SUI's going to do great this bull cycle. On any dips, you want to accumulate this one. It's still not up to the all-time high. I think all-time high was over $4. So if you want to accumulate, I think, not financial advice, it's probably one to take a look at. Chainlink is up 19.8%. Avalanche up 17.7%. Hedera almost up 20%. Toncoin up 7.4%. Litecoin, another one that I like, 86 bucks. This one was over 120. Good deal right now. Still, it's up 13%. Hyperliquid is another good one. Definitely a very interesting play, especially if you're into the liquidations, not liquidations, but if you I forget the term. Either way, it's a good play. 19 bucks, up 14%. So if it's a leverage play, basically. Decentralized leverage platform, which has great use case, especially in a bull cycle. Hyperliquid is definitely one to take a look at. And Pi is like a social cult following. People don't know if it's if it's a Ponzi or whatever it is, but it's free to mine. A lot of support. At one point, this thing was over $1. 65 cents currently, up 5.7%. I actually own some Pi that I've been accumulating over the past 4 years. So that's exciting to see. But either way, the market is looking good right now. A lot of good news. Hope you're feeling good. This is just the beginning. Just the beginning. I think things will get even better, and I'm going to show you why. So, Fidelity, which is a big asset holder, if you work at corporate America, I'm sure they are funding your 401k. They say Bitcoin supply on exchanges is falling due to public company purchases. Not too long ago, they started offering Fidelity, that is, Bitcoin or crypto exposure to their clients as well. So you may want to take a look at your Fidelity portfolio and see if that's available to you through your employer. But they're stating the obvious. Basically, public companies are purchasing. We know this. The adoption is growing. And this is per HODL 15 Capital. 11 companies have increased their HODL bags, plus almost 11,000 Bitcoins. And we have ANAP Holdings of Japan. They're also joining. We all know that MetaPlanet out of Japan has been following MicroStrategy's playbook, accumulating Bitcoin like crazy. So you have that. This is not even considering countries. We have El Salvador. We know about them. They've been accumulating. The province or country of Bhutan, they've been doing the same thing. And just look at these public companies. We already know MicroStrategy, what they're doing. Marathon, Riot, CleanSpark. Those three are miners. But look at Tesla. HUD-8 is a miner. Coinbase, Block, Square. But just look at how much they were accumulating. And this list is going to continue to grow. You're going to see new companies come in, and it's going to make an asset that's already scarce even more scarce. And that's going to do wonders for the price of Bitcoin. It's just the beginning. Other big news, there was a SPAC, Cantor Equity Partners, going to be CEP basically, which is Tether, SoftBank Group, and 21, basically following MicroStrategy's playbook. They're also going to accumulate Bitcoin and give investors a vehicle to Bitcoin exposure. So you have ETFs, you have MicroStrategy, and now you're going to have this. And this has done wonders for their stock price. So this will be interesting. Are there going to be other companies following, doing the same thing to an asset that's already scarce? Then we have, this is according to Coinbase, what are most buyers buying right now? So this is not OTC. This is retail, like you and me. What are they buying right now? Number one, obviously, is Bitcoin with 53,000 buyers. This is the past 24 hours. Number two is XRP, one of the strongest communities out there. I would say ADA could probably compete with them, but XRP has a strong ass community. 26,000 buyers. ETH is number three with 24,000. Then you have number four, which is Solana, my favorite alt, 18,000. Then you have Litecoin, another favorite alt of mine, 11,000. ADA, 5,000. Dogecoin, 5,000. Hedera, 4,000. Stellar XLM, 4,000. Sui, 4,000. Sheeb, meme coin, 3,000. Then you have the other meme coin for official Trump, 2,000. And then Onyx coin, which is 2,000. But the ones that I am focusing on and accumulating currently, Solana, Litecoin, and Sui. Those are my three favorites. I don't know what your three favorites are, but those are the ones that I'm accumulating because I think Solana, all the activity, especially in crypto, is going through this chain. ETH is no longer number one, in my opinion, is Solana. And this Solana was almost at $300 at one point, and it's currently half that price. So yes, the price has gone up a lot, but I am still accumulating heavy. Litecoin was over 120, currently at this price. All past bull cycles, Litecoin has hit 400,000. Now with the possible spot ETF in the mix, all the guardrails from the SEC have been taken away. It was 400 before. I think the price of this is going to be crazy. Over 400 this time. So I'm accumulating this as well. And then Sui, just, they have so much going on. And I'll show you some of the metrics, the on-chain metrics for this project. They're like what Solana was before. So I'm all in on that. So let's see what else we got. So if we look at historical patterns from the past bull cycles, we'll see where we're at. And if history is repeating, and it never repeats, but it tends to rhyme, you see that there was a bear trap, and that's basically where we were. And granted, these, back in 2017, back in 2021, there were different reasons for this, right? Here we know we have macro conditions that kind of got us where we were right here. But following this bear trap, if you look at this chart, which we're mimicking here from the past 2 cycles, you'll see that only straight up is where we're headed. All right, we're going to go parabolic, and then there will be a drop, obviously, but then we're going to go back up again. And if I'm looking at this chart, I'm saying now is a perfect time to get into crypto. This is obviously showing Bitcoin. Obviously, DCA into Bitcoin, that's one of the pristine assets out there. But this should give everybody out there hope, especially for the ones saying that the bull cycle is over. We reached our peak after the inauguration and Bitcoin hit 110 or 109, whatever it was. And everyone thought that was the peak and thought we were in bear. I don't know. Looking at this chart, I don't think so. Let me know your thoughts, but I'm all in. Let's leave crypto a little bit and go into Tesla. Tesla, obviously they hold a Bitcoin. But because I'm looking at the price action, Tesla was low. Tesla was around 220, 224, under 230 earlier this week. They had an earnings call. They didn't do that great. Numbers weren't that great, but they have gone up. Pre-market, they got up to $261. Why is that? It's because Elon announced that his role in the Doge project, Doge initiative, will be reduced tremendously beginning next month. And a lot of shareholders are excited about this, not because of the negative connotations with that project and what it's doing, and him being the speakerhead, the figurehead for that, but he's going to be gone, and he's going to be more focused on Tesla. And that's what they want to see. Shareholders want you to be focused on not everything else going on in the world, but focus on your company. And we have the Model 2 coming out, robo-taxi, robotics, a lot of exciting things going on for Tesla. The growth is tremendous. So this is positive news. I also hold Tesla. I don't hold many equities, but Tesla is one that I truly believe in, and I think is going to change the world. And it's a very strong company. So I wanted to give a shout out to Tesla real quick. Next, we have MicroStrategy, or Strategy B as they call themselves now. Let me go back to Tesla real quick. If you look at Tesla for the past 5 days, just look at that chart. So it's good. Now, let's take a look at MicroStrategy, Strategy B, also doing very, very well. And we see for the past 5 days, it is up 11.6% for the past 5 days. Now, people call this a Bitcoin proxy. I also hold Strategy B, but let's take a look at something real quick. 11.6% for the week. And then let's look at Bitcoin. For the past 7 days, Bitcoin is up 11.8%, now 11.9%. This thing is following Bitcoin like crazy. So, not financial advice, but if you're one you're not sure about your keys and you're kind of nervous about all of that, MicroStrategy is not a bad play. Make some profits, maybe take it out, and then eventually, if you're cool with your security, put whatever profits you make here into the asset Bitcoin, that is, instead of keeping it in MicroStrategy. But it's not a bad play because it's following that price. So MicroStrategy is not a bad thing. And for the past 6 months, MicroStrategy is up almost 50%. That's crazy. Almost 50%. Next, let's take a look at Meta, formerly known as Facebook. Lays off employees working on virtual reality. And I want to bring this up. Yes, it's not crypto, but it's kind of crypto related. They had this whole thing last bull cycle investing in Meta Planet, the metaverse, and that was hot. That resulted in a lot of metaverse plays going crazy. And right now, you don't hear much about metaverse at all. Right now, RW, real world assets, is the thing. Even NFTs to an extent is not as hot as it was before. So RWA, I think, is the play, especially AI. That's another play. And maybe metaverse plays are kind of fading out. So I don't know if you hold any metaverse plays like, what's the one? The name escapes me right now. But yeah, I don't know if you hold any of those, but you may want to take a look. This may be an indication of what's to come, because when they were all in, that's when the metaverse plays went up. And then now, not so much. So there you go. Looking at flows by assets. This is your institutions, your hedge funds, what some would consider smart money. What are they doing? This is ending last week. So this is data all from last week. we see that there was an outflow of Bitcoin, and that is going to change. There's a heavy inflow now. Ethereum, there was an outflow. Solana, there's an inflow of 300,000. XRP, look at that, inflow of 37 million. Sui had an outflow of 1.1 million. I expect that to change. Litecoin was null. Cardano had an inflow of 300,000. But I think all of these numbers will change. It'll be interesting to see what happens for this week. But year to date, we see the inflow of Bitcoin 541 million, Ethereum 215 million, Solana 77 million, XRP 214 million, Sui 51 million, y'all. I'm telling you, this is the one to watch. Litecoin had inflow of 5 million, Cardano inflow of 70 million, y'all. ADA's going to do well as well. Keep saying that. Paul Atkins, other bullish news. Paul Atkins has been sworn in as the SEC chair. This guy, prior to taking this position, is a Bitcoin maxi. He holds Bitcoin. Total opposite from Gensler, what we had before. And the news just keeps coming. Look at this. The Fed withdraws its guidance on bank crypto-related activities. So sometimes you've been hearing stories of people with, trading crypto, their account is frozen, they can't access the funds, or banks, if you have any type of crypto, they don't want anything to do with you, you can't open an account. This helps with all of that. SEC chair, Bitcoin bull, the skies are aligning, the stars are aligning, things are going to get better. Trust me. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But my instinct says with everything that's happening right now, things will get better. Now, there's a trade war going on right now between two of the world's biggest economies. And, there's positive things coming from here, the US saying that, talks are happening with China, with other countries. And then you hear China saying there are no talks happening. So I don't know what's going on. But what I do know is that both countries have big cards, and they don't want this to go on for too long. They don't, because obviously they need each other to be prosperous, be successful. And I think it's going to work itself out. And they're going to be dips when we hear some bad news, and things will flourish once this is all over. So you just got to have the heart and the patience to know that there is an ending to this. It's not going to go on forever because, again, both economies depend on each other. So you just have to weather the storm. And once this is over, just like after a hurricane, it's all crazy. But then all the last clouds, they finally fade away and you see that beautiful sunshine. That's what's going to happen with this. So just weather the storm. Things are going to be great this year. I truly believe it. All the bullish news. ETFs awaiting approval include funds tied to Solana, XRP, Sui, Litecoin, Hedera, BNB, Cardano, Avalanche, Dogecoin, Polkadot, Aptos, Chainlink, Pudgy Penguins, and when I talked about the meme coin, Official Trump, Melania, and Bonk. These are all going to be considered for approval, and I think that Solana, Litecoin, probably be one of the first ones, other spot ETFs to be approved. Reason why? Again, we have Paul Atkins as the SEC chair, and just regulations here in the US are easing on crypto. Also, Mike Novogratz of Galaxy Digital swaps 100 million worth of ETH for Solana. Solana has a lot of things going for it, y'all. Also, Soul Strategies, which is kind of like MicroStrategy in Canada, they have also converted 500 million of USD that's going to be converted into Solana. Interesting. Also, for everybody that is on Solana and holds some Jupiter, if you are staking it, there is a voting. They're voting for their new DAO resolution, basically for more funds so that they can promote Jupiter, also help the community grow, help the blockchain grow. And if you want to vote on that, it started April 23rd and it ends April 27th. So vote and you get some free Jupiter just by doing so. Go to the website. Website is vote.jup.ag. Free Jupiter, which is one that I think will do well, extremely well. If you ever use that website, it's one of the best dexes. It's not really called a dex. It's a dex aggregator that is probably the best I've ever seen. Very easy to use, and you can do a lot on it. Also, Sui. They are introducing, or Grayscale is introducing a Sui Trust. Good news for Sui. Also for Sui, X Portal launches a MasterCard with wallet features. So it's a debit card. But this is also very positive. X Portal is a crypto super app. It's launched its first ever Sui branded MasterCard debit card. The card offers users a new and easy way to spend their crypto for their daily needs directly from their wallets. Positive use case. Also, Sui is integrated with Ledger. I know back in the day it wasn't, but now you can take your Sui off of Coinbase, whatever centralized exchange you have it on, and put it onto your wallet using Ledger. That is good too. It just shows the growing adoption of this chain, this project. Also, they have Walrus that recently launched, which is a data storage protocol. So big development. Sui is also into gaming. That's not their primary focus, but they have gaming as well. So as gaming takes off, that's another sector that's going to help Sui prosper. Also, there's USDC native on Sui as well. So easy to transact on Sui. So just things are looking very good for this project. I think it's a strong competitor to Solana, but Solana right now is the top L1 in my opinion. Taking a look at some online metrics, we see that Solana daily active addresses 4.6 million. Near is followed by 3.5 million, and then look at Sui 1.6 million. Daily transactions. Solana number 1, 2.2 billion, Near 153 million, and right after that, Sui 147 million. New wallets. This is new wallets, right? Most recent update per Artemis. New wallets 3.3 million for Solana. Sui's number 2, 1.3 million. New wallets. That's what you want to see. You want to see a chain that has the traction, has the adoption, and people are flocking to it. Right now, Solana, Sui, and Near are those three. If we look at returning wallets, Near is number 1 at 3.2 million, Solana 1.2 million, Sui 300,000. Higher than Ethereum, y'all. Now, DEX volume, we see that Solana is at 47 billion, ETH at 42 billion. Solana, let's pause here. Solana has more DEX volume than Ethereum. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Then after that, we have Sui. Sui is at 9.2 billion. Do you see what's happening here? Sui, the metrics are crazy, which is, it relates to that price action that we're seeing. But still, it hasn't reached its all-time high. I'm telling you. Next, we have the revenue. Total revenue. We see that ETH is still killing it with revenue. There are 6.8 million. Solana, 2.9 million. Sui, number 3, 303,000. So, guys, the weekend's coming up. This is going to be a better feeling than we had last weekend, obviously, because our bags are starting to look good. I'm not selling anything yet because I see the potential and I see where this thing could go. But, you know, I'm very excited. So let's see if Bitcoin hit 95,000 during this video. Not yet. But anyway, I mean, things are looking very good. I'm very excited. So this is just the beginning. You know, we're going to trade sideways. I predict that, but we're going to go higher. And hopefully around summertime or even around the holidays, we will be rejoicing, drinking champagne or whatever your pleasure is, and celebrating all the hard work that we've accomplished. So that's it for today's video. Hope you liked it. If you did, please hit that like button. Want to see more of my content, please subscribe to the channel. And let's enjoy this ride to millionaire status together. Talk to you later.